Hello everybody, welcome back. So we'll get right to it. We're doing a few things tonight. Primarily, we're going to be on Adobe Animate, but I am thinking I'd have to go to Aseprite later. But we'll see. Let's just continue on where we left off. We'll finish this specific action sequence, then we'll see whether or not I'm going back to Aseprite. I'm going to give myself... It's already kind of late. I'm going to give myself like around 30 minutes worth of work time tonight. Maybe more, if depending. For those that are not tracking, I am currently moving barracks right now, so I gotta prioritize getting all this stuff into my new place. And I have until Sunday, so that's why things have to be kind of like sped run for the next few days, but it's all good. We'll make time for this and we'll make time for other stuff. So right now, as usual, we're just waiting for the movie to load up. We'll see if there's any issues. We'll do 2 watches, then we'll continue from there. And as usual, remember, 16,000 frames is the limit for this. As soon as you get past frame 16,000, you cannot add any more symbols or anything. Like you're cooked. So you have to be very careful about the amount of frames you're using. All right, so primarily we were just making sure everything is good before we get started. Adobe Animate has a very bad habit of moving keyframes around, so we're just making sure everything's in place. And remember, the reason why, spoilers, Mia tosses Minardi's scythe away, the angle that we're going with is Minardi's scythe acts as a medium/conduit for her occult shenanigans. So, Mia throwing it away, Minardi's occult nonsense goes away. So she's just a regular old fire adept. It's not saying she's not extremely powerful still, but the gimmick is over. So things are a little bit more... I wouldn't say even, is still heavily in her favor, just because, you know, she's physically stronger than Mia is. It'll make a lot more sense once we actually start doing dialogue, but we're still like a ways away from that. Anyways, before I forget, slowly but surely, we are making our way towards the finale of this. Primarily, we want to get it finished with Mercury Lighthouse. Oh, before I forget, we still have to come up with a name for her. I still don't know what to call her. We'll figure it out. I have to make a new sprite for her too. That's why I'm probably gonna end up going to Aseprite soon, because for the last sprite animation, I used Mia's looking down sprite as her main sprite. But just to differentiate them, I need to make her a character specific battle sprite. I think one rewatch should be good for now. I'm not seeing anything too crazy. The funny thing is, the aura around Mia was so last second, I just didn't know what to do for her right there. Since Minardi was clearly charging her per DM, like, yeah, Mia's got to do something here. So there are multiple ways we can go about this. We can have Isaac and Satoros finish everything up, or I can bring Mia and Minardi back into the frame. We'll just have a 2v2 for the finale. Because they're currently the only ones that are fighting right now, even though this is kind of comedic relief at the moment. It's comedic relief because I'm simulating them completely drained of synergy and just duking it out. So we do have options, because right now it's a 1v1 with everybody. Okay, we're good. All right. I didn't see anything too crazy, but like I said before, I'm still debating how I want to finish this. We could continue having 1v1s, or we can have a 2v2 for the end of it. before we forget, right now, Satoru's dive bombs right here. His sprite disappears. So we need Isaac to where does he stop? Isaac stops right here. So what we need to do is copy this, insert a blank keyframe right here. Isaac disappears. We're going to paste what we just copied. We're going to turn on onioning. We're going to use the arrow keys to move Isaac. There's a lot of things happening near Satoru's. That's where we're using the arrow keys. So Isaac is going to recover right there. We're going to insert another keyframe. We're going to rotate Isaac, transform him. We're going to bring him back over here. We can do something very cute. We're going to do something very cute here. Unfortunately, we do have to watch this one more time. I just want to make sure he transitions good. So while we wait for this to load up, I'm going to go through my assets just to make sure I have everything. I'm hoping I don't have to go make him a new sprite, but I have a feeling I'd have to do it. So while we wait, let's get Aseprite loaded up. Then, as I mentioned before, Aseprite's going to be your primary workhorse working with a project like this. So normally when I create sprites or modify sprites, I give myself plenty of space. So we're going to do 128 by 128. And like I said before in other streams, Aseprite, it's probably like $2 right now on Steam or wherever you want to get it. It's going to be your primary tool when you're modifying sprites or creating stuff, even backgrounds. Aseprite, pick your sprite animation program of choice. Mine's Adobe Animate. It works when it works, but it usually works. When it comes to text boxes, effects, and pretty much the bare bones of effects and lore, I do it in DaVinci Resolve. Then when everything's said and done and the smoke's all settled, we bring it over to CapCut version 1.5. That's where we put all the cute, funny effects. So it's a 4-step process for this sprite animation. So as mentioned, 128 by 128. I think this should be loaded up now. All right, perfect. So we're going to minimize Aseprite. We'll watch this just to make sure everything's good. And as I mentioned before, it does seem like it's redundant that I keep on watching these test movies, but we have to make sure the things that we do look good. We have to make sure the frames are right. We got to make sure nothing crazy is happening with the sprites, because weird things do happen. For example, if you don't make sure a PNG file is converted into a symbol, it'll become blurry, disjointed. Bad stuff happens. So these are very important because you have to actually see in action how your sprites are cooperating and your symbols are cooperating. And as usual, if people don't understand what I'm saying, things are too complicated. So I know I'm not the best at explaining stuff via stream. Just leave a comment and I'll explain it the best way possible. This is a very complex project. I'm not trying to intimidate anybody, but you're gonna be putting in some work. Because these sprites, they are JRPG sprites. They are not made for this type of environment. So it's gonna take a lot of trial and error, improvising, a lot of long nights, a lot of blood, sweat, not blood, sweat, and tears, but a lot of salt. Especially with these two characters. Especially you, Minority. You, Also, don't drink unless you're my age. Cherish your liver. I gotta get rid of the soju, because I can't transport alcohol on base. It's weird. It's very weird. I can't transport it long distances. So what we're gonna do, as soon as we make sure Isaac's sprite's good, we'll start creating a new sprite for you. All right, we're gonna go to the remake now because we've been hearing this for a while. And if it's people's first time with this is a darker reimagining of Golden Sun 1 and 2 story. We're making this more mature, more adult oriented, a lot of dark themes, but primarily we're fixing plot holes. Anything that I personally feel they dropped the ball with. Again, I love this franchise. I love the series. So someone needs to love Dark Dawn. I like Dark Dawn. I don't mind it. It's not the caliber of 1 and 2, but if I need something to play, I'll play Dark Dawn. But there are a lot of things I feel like in regards to like progression that kind of got screwed up. For example, from Vale all the way till Mercury Lighthouse, peak tension. But as soon as you're done with Mercury, all the way till post Colosso, it's like a lot of nothing happening. Like the tension is gone. My goal is keeping the tension from beginning all the way to end. We're giving characters that didn't get their time in the sun more spotlight, like Mia Minardi, because as I mentioned time and time again, Minardi, you only fight her 1.5 times. Half being in prologue and 1 being the penultimate fight. Hold on, 1 second. Perfect. We're introducing new concepts, multiverse shenanigans. There's a lot of things we're doing here, but we are still keeping the more adult-oriented, mature, dark-themed stuff. Oh, Kalima is gonna get burned down soon. You already know what's going on in Kalima right now. People are trees. People are trees right now. All right. So Isaac's turned right there. Before we get to Aseprite, let's see if this is gonna work. So as soon as Satoru's Sprite disappears, we're gonna insert a blank keyframe right here. I want to see if this works. We're going to turn on unending just to keep Isaac in view. We're going to go to asset folder. All right. Isaac. I think what we can do. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Turn off cameraing. Turn off cameras as soon as you want to start doing resizing. Because if you resize with the camera on, things are to be very zoomed in or zoomed out. You don't want that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring a new PNG file into my library. We already created the blank keyframe on Isaac's layer, so that's why Isaac disappeared. We're gonna grab the specific thing we put in, which is Isaac's sword attack. We're gonna zoom in where Isaac is. This is the last frame that Isaac shows up before the blank keyframe. So if we go back here, there's Isaac. I kind of gave this 2 extra frames when I didn't need to. That's fine. So Isaac disappears right there. But we're to keep things uniform. Perfect. We're going to turn on unending right here. We're going to drag this new PNG file right on top of where Isaac is. He's right there. So, seems pretty simple enough, right? No, it's not simple. Do not let the free transform tool fool you. If you start messing around with this, your sprite will become messed up. It'll be blurry in the movie, and a lot of other crazy things will happen. You must turn this into a symbol first before you do any form of modification. This includes flipping it horizontal. So, go to modify. Unfortunately, OBS is stupid, so you can't see exactly what I'm clicking, but follow along with what I'm saying. Modify, transform, flip. I'm a dumbass. It's the alcohol. It's right against me. Anyways, modify, bitmap, trace bitmap. Again, modify, bitmap, trace bitmap. Pop-up will show up that says trace bitmap on it. Color thresholds on 1, minimum area 1 pixels, corner threshold many corners, curve fit pixels. Again, color threshold set on 1, minimum area set on 1 pixels, corner threshold set on many corners, curve fit set on pixels. Click OK. From there, you're gonna press F8 on your keyboard. This is now converted into a symbol, but you gotta name the symbol and make sure the type's on graphic. So what we're gonna call this is Isaac Jump Attack. Now you are good. So, because I'm not the best at explaining things, we're going to show you an example of why you must turn things into a symbol. Be pretty quick, just bear with me. I always keep my videos just so I can show an example. So we're going to go to Desperation. It should be Cliffside. Yep. Now, pay attention to Mia's sprite. We're going to zoom in on it, but I don't know if you can notice it. Mia's sprite's blurry compared to Badge on a sprite. Also, don't mind the typo. I'm going to try to pause it as best that I can. See the difference? This was not converted into a symbol. This is a symbol. I forgot this project was cursed because we had a big major crash, so I didn't get a chance to fine-tune it. So this is why you have to convert it into a symbol, or else your sprite will look like that. Jenna's sprite is currently a symbol. Mia's sprite is currently not a symbol. Remember that. And before I forget, I think it was... Fuck. Give me a second. I have so many episodes in this series. Yes, it was actually that episode. I'm a dumbass. You're gonna see the issues with Isaac's sprite in regards to the fights. Also, let's pause. Let's pause music and listen to godlike Golden music. Unfortunately, I can't touch this because this is gonna freeze. This should be Isaac solo versus Trek. It was so hard getting him to float, but we got it to work. I'm very happy with this.
遅い。残形に処す。
We can't even use his idle stance no more. Because it's gonna look so weird. So this is why we had to remake his idle sprite, his main sprite for fights. It's just too awkward. Because Isaac's default battle pose from in-game, it's so deep. We can't alter it without it screwing up the sprite. At least with here, we can kind of fuck around and find out and see how things work. But with that specific stance and with Garrett's stance, the moment you start messing around with it, it just gets so like screwed up. All right. Anyways, back to this. So right now we have Isaac's sprite. It's fully utilized as a symbol, so we can do whatever we want. Now we can resize it. So what we're gonna do is Isaac's a special case. So what we're gonna do is we'll try to match this up to his dashing sprite as best that we can, because Isaac's a low profiling. So 240 by 170, 241 by 170. We'll do that. We'll see how that looks. 240 by 170. That's not bad. we can make it a tad bit bigger. We're gonna zoom out a little bit. We still have to make it bigger. Now the fun part. We're gonna over-tweening again. So here's Isaac's A position. We need another B. We need a B position, so he goes right there. But it's gonna be a little bit hard with this one because we're gonna be going in a half circle angle instead of going straight. So what we're gonna do. I'll give an example in a second of how I want things to go because I think it's best that I'll show the example first. The best way to show is Mia's Kamen Rider reference in the Dark Turn. God, it was so weird. Everything's so vibrant. I'm kind of glad I kept the dark tone with this. Yeah, because she's not pale anymore. So I want you to pay attention to Mia's movement when she jumps in the air. All right, let's see. There we go. Also, copyright. But yes, as soon as Mia does her jump in the air, pay attention because that's what we're gonna have to do next. We love references. Right here. That's what we have to do. We love references here. Back to this. Okay. So what we have to do is insert keyframe. This is gonna be Isaac's B position. We're gonna bring him up like this for now. We're gonna insert a tween right in between point A and point B, because if we don't do that, it's gonna look very weird. He just teleports right there. Right click anywhere in between it. We're just gonna use a classic ease for this. So right click, create classic tween. So now we're gonna take off unending. Perfect. And we want Isaac to go right where Satoros is for an attack. Insert keyframe again, because we're doing the exact same thing. We're gonna use the arrow keys to bring Isaac down. And we're gonna have him disappear. So right click, anywhere between point A and point B, create classic tween. Save it. We're gonna watch the movie. We're gonna go Aseprite for a little bit. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with that demonic entity that's possessing Mia. Not pandering, but she was introduced in the last Sprite animation. We have a storyline going. Long story short, there's a lot of demonic entities in Golden Sun. I'm pretty sure people have noticed, like a good chunk of the enemies are demonic. What I'm trying to go with is why we have demonic entities in Golden Sun. So we're doing not a lance between shenanigans. There's a different plane of existence where Sharon rules over. This is where those demonic enemies are coming from. Fuck! I did not turn on the camera. Turn on the camera if we're done resizing. The ongoing gag continues. Anyways, as I was saying, we're still working on that angle. We haven't finalized it. We just introduced it in the last video, but definitely it's something we have to work on as we go. Anyways, More music. Give this a sec. There we go. Got it. Alright. So, a good chunk of the enemies in Golden Sun are demonic entities, which people probably haven't noticed because we're just playing through the game. We're going with an angle with that. So that Mia that has her eyes whited out is a demonic entity that mimicked Mia when Mia went to that plane of existence. All right, there we go. So as soon as we're done with this we're gonna do a Aseprite and wrap it up tonight. And before I forget, if you prefer these shorter streams, just let me know. They're short now because I'm so busy. I gotta make time for more script writing stuff that I have to do, and I have to make time for this and have enough time to go to bed. But I've been relatively busy for the past week or so. So it's kind of hard doing lengthy streams, but if you prefer longer streams, just let me know. I feel 30 minutes is a good streaming time for every project that I'm doing right now. Also, it kind of doesn't make sense that Mia threw away her sword, but it does. It is going to make sense as soon as we get to the script writing stuff. Remember, that weapon's cursed. It's detrimental for her to keep on using it. Once we actually get the camera shaking effects, it's gonna look so much better. We still have to come up with a name with you. We'll come up with a name for you. We just don't know what to do yet. Wait a minute. I could do we could do a funky Nightmare Korra type of idol stance with you. Yeah, that would actually. Oh yeah, like that can work. Because I've used Mio for arms crossed and her head down a lot. And the reason why her head's down, if people are familiar with anime, if you have bangs and you don't want people to see your emotions, your bangs cover their eyes. Because eyes is believed to show people's emotions. If you've ever played Nier Automata, there's a reason why they're wearing those headbands to cover their eyes. So so their emotions don't show. It's just yours is a special case because you have a glowing red eye, so your glowing eye just pokes out from time to time. Oh, I forgot. No Ivans were harmed in the making of this. It's very fast right now, but I like the way it looks. So what we're gonna do before we go to Aseprite, we're gonna add probably like 2 frames to both of them. Actually 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This one's a little bit shorter, so we'll add like 2 more frames. 1, 2, 3. Save it. Now let's do some Aseprite work. But before we do that, God, I cannot spell. I think we can. I think we can do this. Yeah, we can do this. I actually find this. Go to Sun. This entire project is pushing almost 20 gigs right now. Thank God I upgraded. I just got to get my actual gaming rig set up. I haven't had a chance to set it up because of how busy I've been. But it's there. It's just the quality of life updates are getting there bit by bit. All right. So when I have vanilla Mia, just straight up regular Mia talking, we just have her like this. Her hands like that. Where the hell are you? Regular, when party time Mia shows up, so she just looks up, arms crossed. That's how you can tell them apart. There we go. Normal, split personality, normal, split personality, and I can actually find it. And evil. There you go. 3 separate ones. Nope. Split personality, normal, evil. But I can't keep on using the evil sprite with this new one. So we have to make something from scratch, which is gonna be a pain in the ass. But it's all good because Mia's. I can show people how annoying Mia's sprite can be. So we're gonna start from a blank slate. Maybe. Because here's all Mia sprites. It's not all of them, but okay. We have to start somewhere. So we're gonna copy this. Actually, no, we don't need to do that. This is gonna be a serious quiet time, so don't mind me. I gotta actually just like focus on this. Get rid of that little phantom pixel right there. You don't notice it because you don't. The game doesn't allow you to see it, but there's a phantom pixel right there. I think I actually pulled this off. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back. Oh, if people are familiar with the invincible gag, yeah, you can do anything, as in Mia doing the threat. There you go. There's your nightmare fuel for the night. Mia doing the threat. All right, JA, you are gonna save us. Always name your layers. You know, this can work. It's gonna be weird, but we can get this to work. Yeah, we can actually do the Nightmare Cora. That's gonna be some shit. Yeah, that can actually work. She would have to be slushed down a little bit. Yeah, that can work. So we'll keep the arm right there. Yeah, this can work. Yeah, this can work. That was kind of throwing me off a little bit. Okay. Bolts. This is what I was talking about like 20 minutes ago. We spend a lot of long nights just experimenting, seeing what works and seeing what does not work. Usually it does work, a lot of trial and error, but it does. Okay. It's hard because you're wearing white. This can work, but it's gonna have to really lock in with this one. Or wait, oh, I have an idea, actually. Oh yeah, this will work. Yeah, it's weird because you have all white. Like even if we wanted to do the arm on the waist thing, it's so weird because it's not weird, but the fact that you have white gloves and wearing white everywhere makes it difficult. So we would have to improvise, which we can do. It's not hard, but just gotta polish this up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, haven't you? She's like hunched over a little bit. This can work. Now, pose. Do I need to? I don't think I need to draw it though. I would hope I don't need to draw it. I probably don't need to draw it. No, just grab from here. So that would actually suck if I had to draw it. Mia's coat is not fun to deal with at times. But I'm probably gonna have to draw it. I thought so. That's actually fine. You know, I have an idea. We don't use you up. Let me see if this will actually work. Actually, that looks a lot better. Yeah, this can actually work. And the creepy hand. Sure. Make sure you don't click spray paint. Because we don't want her eyes showing. We have to keep her with the bow because of plot reasons. So let me make you a new folder. For now, I still don't know what I'm going to call you. Okay, there we go. call this idle. All right, now the fun part. We get to go all the way back to the training stage. Game assets, background. And as usual, I do gotta update again. They update this again. But I use a training stage as a way to test sprites, how they would fit in a sprite animation environment. The red line over here represents the x-axis. From Mario and Luigi, all the way down is the y-axis. So weird seeing heart without the idol. But anyways, besides that, we're gonna go grab the new sprite that we made. We're just gonna see how it fits. Alright, so much a little cool Veronica. But we do have the... Damn. Fuck it. To RE3 we go. There we go. Oh god. That does look very creepy. Throughout this whole entire damn animation, I've destroyed this poor healer. But yeah, that's actually kind of creepy. Once we put a... Yeah. This will work. Interesting. Alright. Poor Mia. Don't save. Back to sprite animation. Alright, so we're about to start wrapping it up soon, so we'll do a couple more things here, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight. So what I want to do... I already had this loaded up. I didn't think I was going to use it today, but we sure the hell are going to use it. Did I fuck up? I did fuck up. I should have waited. Fuck! Ah, it's fine. So while I wait for this to load up, let's have a little powwow. There's a reason why I don't like using Kaya's effects, because... Fuck. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, anyways, there's a reason why I don't like using Kaya's effects. Kaya's effects, they're getting harder to use on Adobe Animate, because Kaya's effects, some of them are using ActionScript 2.0 and Adobe Animate uses ActionScript 3.0. What that means is files that Script 2.0 files have a very, very rough time running on this because they're so outdated. It even tells you to convert them to 3.0, or else they might not all compile. So Adobe Animate, for some odd reason, it doesn't like being smart at times. If it sees something that it doesn't like, it, in a perfect world, it won't use it. It's like, oh, hey, I can't use it. No. Adobe Animate will completely destroy your entire project, because if you use one thing as corrupted, if that one thing's corrupted, the whole entire project is corrupted. So we've had situations where, holy crap, Adobe Animate just completely kamikaze this entire project. So this is why I don't like using it, but some of my better effects are on this FLA file. But it's taking a while to load up because this has over 10,000 files because I fucked up. So we're gonna go back to references. We're gonna go over a couple things. I don't like using 3D planes. I'll show you why I don't like using 3D planes. Oh, it's so weird seeing this set for so long. We experimented with this. Give us a second. This is hard. This was great that we actually do this, but we had to. First of all, you need to get the background by itself. You had to make this area into a 3D plane. Through getting that to work is so finicky. Like, you have to rotate it a specific way. You have to make, well, first of all, turn it into a movie clip, press Control W, then rotate this in order for it to actually look good. And sometimes the camera will not work with this properly. You'll try to zoom in and the whole entire project will just start distorting. So this is why I opted out to not use 3D planes. Like, it was good at first, then I started realizing, damn, this shit's hard. But this is good. This is definitely good. I'm not complaining. This shit looked really good. But we're good. Now we can do this. All right, so there's a specific attack I want to use. I don't think it's here. Don't think it's here. It was not here. Shit. Damn it. It wasn't there after all. Now I'm sad. It's probably under cinematics. Lucky this file didn't take too long to load up. But like I mentioned before, 3D planes, I'll give another example. 3D planes are very hard to do. Like, if you want to use it for like one scene, it's great, but for a whole entire sprite animation, you're gonna be running into a lot of hiccups, and we've seen a lot of hiccups with this using it. If I can find this, there we go. I'm just waiting for the next FOI file to load up. I think it was right here. Oh damn. Okay. So pay attention to when Mia does the thing. When Mia lands on the ice pillar. It's gonna take like 2 minutes to load up. There we go. But let's just show this off real quick. Okay, right there. This is an object that's been made into 3D. We made it into a pathway, but it was so hard to actually get this in the right position because once you start moving it around, it likes to go all over the place. And I mentioned before, once you start zooming in using cameras, it does not like to cooperate. It really doesn't. Like, everything just starts getting distorted. We were lucky to actually pull this off, but I come to realize like 3D planes with this will probably not work. or I can get it to work for only like specific scenes such as this. Okay. They should be here. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh. It's most certainly one of this. But as you've seen, this doesn't happen with my other affiliate file set. It just happens with this. So I think it's the beginning and the end with this specific file set. It's probably just not compatible with this no more because this should not take this long just to load up, unfortunately. So we'll give it a second. I believe it's either in the cinematic, it's in the move it slash dash swing. You can't see it when I'm covering it, but just give it a minute. There we go. It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's not a big deal. We'll just have to. I can probably just find this later. Not a big deal. Okay. So that does suck. So that is unfortunate. So tomorrow, I'm gonna see if it's in this specific one. If it's not, tomorrow before I start streaming it, I will find it and we'll carry on. But I think it might be here. Got away with this last time. I don't know if I can get away with this this time, to be honest with you. Let's see. Hmm. Okay. It's not definitely not that one. So we're not gonna go to Kaya's. We're just gonna go to my other ones. So I'm going to read you the error that's coming up right now. ActionScript 2.0 is no longer supported in this version of Adobe Animate. The document will now be set to publish as ActionScript 3.0. Also, any ActionScript code attached to the symbol or component instances have been removed. To be very wary of that. Definitely not hit this one. It's fine. Nope. Probably in the later ones, but we're gonna go through. It's at least like 5 different files, or 7 different files. So just give me a moment. Nope. Nope. I would be some shit to give Isaac a rating storm. Hold on. I can commit to that, but I don't know yet. If not Orochi, that would be funny. Oh, okay. This is actually perfect. So this is how you know things are fucked. Unable to load library item holy space orb. That would have been bad if I pasted it in there. Very, very bad. That only works during certain supers. That was for minority. I didn't use it. I can commit to Raging Storm because I'm not having Isaac doing. I'm not having Isaac doing Earth Synergy. This is because of plot reasons. So right as soon as he disappears. We'll have everything just blow away. No, this has to go actually on top. No, I think we do it here. If you're not using the layer, turn it off. Modify, transform, flip horizontal. Like this. No. Perfect. Because it has to go exactly where Isaac goes. Perfect. We're going to turn this into a... For now, we'll turn this into a movie clip. Put an ad on it, then go from there. All right, let's do one final watch, then we'll start wrapping up for tonight. Tomorrow, I'll see if I can try to find what I was looking for, but for the most part, things got done today. We did an hour, which is great. It's actually 11 o'clock. Holy shit. Yeah, it's actually 11 o'clock. So things got done. We did Aseprite work, which is great. The Aseprite work is... I complain about it a lot, but it's great when you see the fruits of your efforts. So we did a lot today in regards to that. We did this. We're going to see how things go. We're going to have to start transitioning into the final fight. Because remember, we have about 100... We have about 4,000 frames left. So we still have a lot of wiggle room. Like, we can squeeze out as much as we can. But so this has to start getting wrapped up soon. Ooh, let's bump the near before we wrap this up tonight. Let's go. No. Not this one. Not this one. All right. It's slow because I'm clicked off my screen. Is this the hype one? Let's go. We did so much work today. I'm very happy with the results. I can't wait to slow that down. One of my biggest regrets is I didn't make email bigger. This song has no business going in that hard. Fast, but I can slow it down later. Not a big deal. So let's give ourselves more frames for us to work with tomorrow. We're close to 12,000 frames. Save it. Good stuff. All right. Anyways, as mentioned, we did a lot of good work tonight. Enjoy the VOD, everybody. Any questions, comments, and concerns, just leave it in the comment section. But besides that, we'll get some work done tomorrow, and slowly but surely, this project is getting done. At least the end of Mercury Lighthouse, because we're going to be here for a long, long time, because we got to get to Golden 2 eventually. But stay tuned, and hell, it's a community-based project, so if you want me to add anything, just let me know, and I'll try to add it. So take care, enjoy the VOD, we'll talk tomorrow. Good night, guys.